Why entrepreneurship? पता नहीं, शायद कॉर्पोरेट जॉब में अपने वेल विशर बॉस से परेशान हो गया था, या फिर शायद सोशल नेटवर्क और वुल्फ ऑफ वॉल स्ट्रीट से कुछ ज्यादा ही इंस्पायर हो गया था, या फिर शायद हमेशा से रियल लाइफ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग में मजा आता था। वो कहते हैं कि आज की डेट में हर 3 में से 2 क्यूबिकल में स्टार्टअप फाउंडर्स बैठते हैं।
इस देश के ग्रेजुएट्स जब भी अपनी 9 to 5 जॉब से बोर होने लगते हैं ना, तो बाहर निकलने के लिए उन्हें सिर्फ 3 रास्ते सूझते हैं: MBA, IAS या फिर स्टार्टअप।
I have my education, my wits. I have a team that stands resolutely behind me. Though technically I should be successful as well, right? Well, not necessarily. You know, those guys had one more extra thing in common, which was perhaps the most crucial thing. They refused to give up. कमरे में अंधेरा है और आपको बल्ब जलाना है ना, तो स्विच बोर्ड पे हाथ पैर मारते रहोगे ना, तो किसी ना किसी स्विच से तो लाइट जल जाएगी बॉस।
Hello everyone, I welcome you all to today's session. I hope that you all must have attended the first talk of the comprehensive business training program where we had covered all about entrepreneurship. We are so delighted after receiving all your appreciation. Now moving ahead, for those who are new here, I would like to give them a brief. CBTP is a 7-week long business training program where we will be having interactive sessions for our young and dynamic participants to help them understand the nitty gritty of startups. This is the second talk of the program in collaboration with Skill Valley on the topic to start or not to start up. So let me introduce to our host for this evening. I am Khushbu.
And I'm Abhinay. We are here to take you through the journey of this meaningful event. ESL NITH is a team of like-minded people with multiple domains and departments which work together so that people can understand the value of the entrepreneurs. We are here to nurture, define, incubate, and facilitate the business ventures of NITH. We aim to create a place where students can access entrepreneurial resources with the community and share ideas.
On behalf of ESL NITH, I'm pleased to welcome Mr. Deep Kakkar. He is a motivational speaker, mentor, and an entrepreneur by profession, having a dynamic personality. Have you guys ever wondered whether to start or not to start up? Even if to start, then when to start, how to start, etc. Mr. Kakkar is going to tell everything about this since he himself started his entrepreneurial journey from his college days. He has featured 2 times in entrepreneur.com. He is currently working with a startup named Proxy CEO, which helps other startups to build themselves. He has also worked as a head of marketing for FinTech School for 2 years and 1 year as a head of FinTech School for India region. Deep has worked with more than 30 startups as a marketing and growth consultant.
Having been awarded multiple times to his contribution to the marketing and entrepreneur ecosystem, he's also been invited to speak at many prominent stages and also to contribute to the best-selling books. Leaving this aside, he's also been a LinkedIn influencer of 3 million plus reach till date. If you go on to talk about his achievement, I think this session wouldn't be enough. But his experience of all these years is going to give a great experience and great learning in the next few minutes. So we are thrilled to have you over here, sir, and we are excited to hear you, sir.
Hey, thanks a lot, Abhinay, Kushbu. Thanks a lot for the introduction and great start. Loved the video. I'm not sure who made it, but fan of pictures. If you have not seen any one of you who's joined this webinar, if you've not seen pictures, please do so. Okay, so I do have a presentation, but before I share my screen, I want to make one thing clear that I do not like speaking to myself. This is not fun, right? You guys know how fun it was before
Yes,
COVID
yes.
when I could visit offline and I could see all of you, I could see your faces and I could see your reactions and I could interact with you. So please do not make me feel I'm talking to myself. Please keep messaging on chat. I would really appreciate if you keep asking questions, keep giving your suggestions, keep sharing your experiences or not. If not any of this, just maybe tell me your name, whatever, right? Don't keep the chat um, uh, um, lonely. That's what I want. And then yeah, I'll share my screen. I really want this to be interactive, so I'll try to go through the presentation quickly, and then rather put more time in the Q&A so that I can actually know what is it that you want to learn, not that I teach you what I believe that you want to learn, but actually understand from you that, hey, what stage are you at, what are the problems that you're facing, then maybe put some more time there. So yeah, that's what it is. I'll share my screen, uh, and first thing you'll see is my pretty face. Do you see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
All right. Okay. So that's me. You have the introduction. You know all of it. I'm not sure if I want to go through this again, so I'll quickly skip this slide. But just to talk a bit about what I do right now is, and which was not covered in the introduction, is I teach a few executive courses, which means that I teach marketing to executives who've been in the industry since 10, 15, 20, 30 years. That's not even how old I am. So I teach these people how to market their company, how to market their business. I work with VCs, so I'll help startups and VCs connect with each other. So I help VCs find good startups, and I help startups raise money through, through VCs. VCs are venture capitalists, which I assume you know. If you do not know, feel free to put that in the chat, in the message box, and I'll try to answer it in the detail. Okay, so why am I here? uh, I started when I was as young as you guys are right now. I was in college, I was 19, I was naive, I did not have any resources, I did not have anyone who I could kind of rely on to teach me or rely on to show me the correct path. So I made a lot of mistakes which I'm proud of, and I'll explain why I should be proud of your mistakes. But I if I had someone who was there to guide me, I would not have failed as much. Maybe I would have succeeded. Not sure if that would have been a better result than what it is now, but at least success would have been easier if there was someone like me to share the mistakes or to show me the path. So I I I I go to events, I speak, so that I make sure that if not all of you, one, two, three of you learn something, one, two things out of this whole 1 hour, implement it, and then maybe you, I don't know. I'll not say maybe you succeed, because that's not what the end result is, but maybe you go or reach a better place. So yeah, that's what it is. The topic is to or not to start, and I have tried to gear this towards the aspect of, or from the perspective of a student who are in college, because you guys, I believe, are. And this is a very common question that everyone faces. If you Google this, you'll find a lot of resources, but the problem is they come from different perspectives and different ideas. But from someone who is an Indian student, only Indian student can answer better, which I was just a few years ago. So one thing I want to talk about before I move ahead is that uh, I have never had a discussion with anyone of how to, or if you should or if you should not, because I am always on the side of you should. Okay, so this is new for me, and I had to actually think why you should not. So I'll try not to be biased about why you should, but you will somehow sense that I would like you to start, and I have reasons for that. So the first thing, or the first aspect of why you should not start up, is because, you know, you just want to be an entrepreneur. It sounds cool, it sounds fancy, it is the new shiny thing, it is what everyone is talking about. If that is one of your reasons, you should not start up. And I'm not going to talk about this specific point a lot, because I'm sure you guys are smart enough to know that, hey, if everyone is doing it, that does not mean that I want to do it. You know this already. When I was young, I did not, because I did not know what startups are, I did not know what entrepreneurship is. I did not have pictures which I could, see and understand that what entrepreneurship is about. It was not very famous, popular thing at when I was in college, which was 2016, 17. or if it was, I was not aware, right? But you guys are, and you know that it's the new shiny thing, and that is not, or that should not be the reason that you want to do it, right? You should have a different intrinsic motivation of starting up. But that's a boring way to explain it, right? I want to compare starting up to getting married, right? And there's a lot of similarity. I just made this up. Okay, this is the first time I'm talking about this. I just made this up. So starting up is like getting married. So you do not want to do it because you want nice pictures. If you want nice pictures in your story, if you want nice pictures in Entrepreneur Magazine, which I have of mine, but that was a byproduct. I did not do it because I wanted my pictures, right? So same way with marriages. If you want nice pictures, maybe go out with your girlfriend and click nice pictures and go out. You do not get married because you want nice pictures. Same way, you do not start up because you want nice pictures, or because you want fame, or because you want people to know you, or because you want to be an influencer. So that's not the correct way to see it. You do not want to get married because everyone else is doing it. You get family pressure to get married. You get peer pressure. Your friends are getting married. Same way, your friends are starting up. Your family is sending you pictures of newspapers where they say that this young guy who was in uh, another NIT who raised $1 million, and then you get pressure that, hey, I should also do something like this. But that should not be the real reason of why you are doing it. Same with marriage and starting up. uh, you should also not do it without knowing with whom, right? You just do not meet a person and then go get married. You want to spend some time with it. You want to know who she or he are friends with. You want to know how they behave when they are with you. You want to know how um, um, they behave with other people. You want to know how their families are. So same with starting up. If you have an idea, um, does not mean that you go all in. And this correlates with the next point, which is you do not invest a lot of money or resources before being sure. So if you're dating someone, going at a nice cafe and splitting your bills is okay, but you do not buy them a new car, or you do not buy them a new iPhone, right? Same way with starting up. If you're just starting and you do not know what is the potential of your idea or of your business or of whatever you're working on, you do not start investing money. You do not start asking someone else to give you money so that you can invest in, right? If you are dating someone, you do not go to a friend and say that, hey, 50,000 देगा मुझे गर्लफ्रेंड को मोबाइल लेके देना है. Not if you are in a very initial stage of your relation. If you are, say, 3-4 years down, or 2-3 years down to it. So first time I'm giving dating advice, I don't know why. So yeah, so with starting up, do not invest money, do not buy stuff, do not buy um, anything that is not necessary to take the next step. So what happens when you're starting up is you think that, hey, if I want to build a website for which I need to buy server space, and I've heard server spaces are costly. I need $10,000 or $20,000 monthly. You do not need that. This time, at this stage of life, at this stage of how tech is, you need 0 rupees to start. You need zero resources to start. You can get free domain names, you can get free hosting. If you want to spend something, spend maybe 100, 200, or 300 rupees to get domain and hosting. Everything else you can do for free, and I'm not exaggerating. We can have an argument about this, and I'm sure I will win. uh, but you have all the resources for free that you need to start. So don't do it to get nice pictures. Don't do it because everyone is doing it. Don't do it without knowing the other person or knowing what you're working on, and don't invest a lot of money. But again, you do want to grab the opportunity if your instincts say so. So sometimes, similarly in relations and in starting up, you do not always go follow your logic. Sometimes it's also emotions. Sometimes it's also your guts or instincts or intuitions or subconscious, or whatever you want to name it. So it's not always logic. If you You know how that happens sometimes, right? There's two types of, okay, let's not take this example, I'm not sure if I should take it, but let's say if you see um, 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 a group of people that you're meeting for the first time, you somehow would get an instinct that out of the six people, I like this guy, and I'm talking about guy relationship. I like this person, I like this boy, and I'm sure that there's some connection. I'm sure that I will be good friends in the future. Somehow, somewhere, you would have experienced this, right? So same way with ideas. You'll get a lot of ideas. You'll meet a lot of people, but then you will have some intrinsic, you know, I would not say motivation, but some intrinsic feeling that will tell you that I don't know if this has potential or not. I don't know if this guy is a good person or not, but I know that I have some feeling for him, right? So if that is what's happening, then grab the opportunity, and then see where it goes. Now, after learning that you do not want to get married without, all of these things, I still suggest, I told you that I'm still biased towards starting up compared to not starting up. So even if these are the reasons to not start up, and these, I mean, these ones, even if these are the reasons to not start up, I would still suggest starting up, because failing a startup is not as bad as a divorce, right? So with marriage, you get divorced. That's bad for multiple reasons. Don't want to talk about it. But with starting up, if you fail, that's not bad. That is okay. And that's what I want to talk about next. Before I do that, I'll see if there's anything in messages, but I do not see anything, so I'll go back. Feel free to put any message. Do not, it's not necessary for me that I'll take Q&A at the end. I'd like to take any questions while I'm talking as well. Okay, so this one was why not to start up. This is why to start up, and especially why to start up now. Why now is the best time for you to start up. So the answer to why to start up is because you will fail. Now, this may sound counterintuitive to you that, hey, failing should not be the reason why someone startups. For me, it is, and there's multiple reasons why. First, failing is good. Okay, keep this in your mind. Failing is good. It means that you have tried. There will be 99 people around you who would not have failed, and then there's one person around you who would have failed. You go to them and you experience talking with them, you'll know that the person who's failed knows a lot more because they tried. I mean, the people who just keep talking about it don't go anywhere. And again, very basic thing, I don't want to stretch on that. Second is failing early is even better. For you, failing now when you are in college is better because this is free time. And when I say free time, if you are in your third year, you do a startup in third and fourth year, you fail, you have not wasted anything. Maybe you will get some lower grades, which is okay or not okay, depends on you. But you have not wasted 2 years because you have completed your graduation. So this is free time. You are not wasting anything out of your life. But at the same time, you get a job, you get a nice job. Let's say you are 3-4 years down in the job. Now you do not have free time. If you want to start up and you decide to quit, not gonna happen. And even if you fail when you are 30 or when you're 27 or even 25 for that matter, um, you will have a lot more responsibilities. While for now, the max responsibility you have is your assignment and is your and is your exam. You may think that, hey, assignments and exams are a lot. Once you graduate, you'll know that there's a lot coming towards you as a responsibility than this. So trust me, this is a very good time. Also, no one will judge you, right? No one may even know about it. You may start up something and you fail in a year. There's a very good possibility that no one, not even all of your friends and not even your relatives would know about it. But once you graduate and once you are at the stage when you want to get married, you want to have kids, everyone will know about you starting up and about you failing. But now you, your roommates, and a few close friends, you know, and that's okay. Now, third is failure is inevitable. So, if you do not fail now, you're going to fail somehow, somewhere in the future. You cannot say that your life will be failure proof. If not in starting up, you will fail at jobs, you will fail at relations, you will fail at something else. But then, what happens if you fail now is that you will get used to it, right? You cannot, it's not a hurdle that you can jump over, but it's like water that you can learn to swim in. I just made this up. This is a good analogy. So it's not like a hurdle that you can jump over. It's like water that you can learn to swim in. Now, if you don't get into water now, you will have to get some time in your life later. Now, that time may not be a good time. This is failure will be appreciated. So when I talk to students, they normally say that, hey, but if I fail, I won't get a job. I'm like, what the hell? Why do you think you won't get a job if you fail? Failure is appreciated. No one in my life has seen me as a failure when I failed. If you go and apply to a job and then you say that you have a failed startup, uh, all they will talk with you, and I'm talking from my experience of not only giving interviews but interviewing people, is that I see someone who has failed a startup. I just talk about the failed startup. Now compare this. Okay, you have a class of 100 people who know programming. You may not be very good at it. This class, going to an interview, will be asked programming questions, could be tough. You, on the other hand, are getting asked what you had created. You are getting asked about your startup. It's something that you know in and out, and you cannot give bad answers, right? So even in interviews, it will be appreciated. If not appreciated, it's not at all a bad thing. I mean, they will ask you that, hey, what did you do? How did you feel at it? What did you learn from a failure? These are three standard questions. And then if you know this, the answers to these questions, they know that you are a lot better than other people who have not even tried. Okay. And failure will be forgotten. So who knows? Okay. Good time to uh, go to the messages. Who knows a platform called Social Net? SOCIEL. Do not Google. Who knows this platform called Social Net? And I do not expect a lot of you to know this, so do not worry if you do not know. Hey, is there no chat here? I cannot find the chat. I can only see direct messages. Is there a common chat?
Sir, if you close that
Ah,
messages, you
I
will see.
see. I see. Okay, okay. I see it now.
But
Yeah.
still,
I do not see. Hey, come on, guys. Answer yes or no. Do you know what social net is? No, 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 no. Okay. I like this engagement. I'll wait for a few more no's. No. One more no. Okay. Thanks for being engaging. All right. You do not know social net. Okay. Next question. Do you know LinkedIn? Yeah. Of course you do. Of course you do. So LinkedIn and social net are both creations of the same person, Reid Hoffman. No one knows what social net was because it failed. I mean, you do not remember Reid Hoffman for social net. You remember Reid Hoffman for LinkedIn. That is because failure everyone has gone through. And failure is just about, taking different steps until you succeed once. You fail 100 times, no one cares. You succeed once, everyone will remember that. So failure will be forgotten, if not now, if then tomorrow, once you succeed. And once you succeed, none of your failures are going to be in your way. And to succeed, you will have to go through failure. So that's why you should start, because you can fail. uh, Now these are some legit reasons. Okay, these are some legit reasons that I think you should not start up, and I do not have counter arguments to this. So yeah, I'll see if there's anything in the chat. Yeah, Raju has a question. Good question, Raju. I quickly skimmed through it. I'll answer that. Thanks. So why not to start up? These are some legit reasons why, yeah, why you would not want to start up. One is you're too emotional to digest failure. I told you that failure is good, but if you're too emotional and you do not have a heart, you don't have a thick skin, and you think that um, failing will make you feel bad and it will impact your mental health, you do not want to do it. um I mean, yeah, mental health is more important than anything in life, right? So if you're too emotional to be able to fail, do not start. If you're starting, have guts to be, to say that, hey, if I fail now, if I fail after 1 year, or if I fail after $100 million of valuation, I'm going to be able to digest my failure. Second thing, if it's affecting your grades, again, this is a very college related thing. If it's affecting your grades, for me personally, I was never a good student. It always affected my grades and especially my attendance. I would never attend classes. But if it's not something that you want to do, if it's something that you don't like, if you like 9 pointers in your result, sheet, then don't do it. I mean, it's a legit reason. You will see that a lot of entrepreneurs quit college to start up, but that's only a few that you see. There's thousands of others who do this and fail, and then they have to go back to college again when they're 25. So I mean, if you want to take the risk, then good. But if it's affecting your grades and you do not like that happening, then don't do it. Don't listen to other people. Third is, it may affect your relations and you won't be able to handle your relations getting bitter. Then don't do it. Relations are, of course, important. Um, and if you think that you won't be able to handle relations and a startup, then it's a legit reason to not start up. Again, this, I'm not being sarcastic. This is true, real reasons. Okay. People in your life, grades in your mark sheet, your mental health are actually important. Depends on people, right? I have seen people, I have been one who was not really caring of my relations, and I have faced that. I was okay with that and I did that. If you're not okay with that, don't do that. You have family responsibilities. I mean, you all know what this is about, so I'm not going to explain that. And then you're not ready for commitment. So again, starting up takes a lot of commitment, takes a lot of your time. um, and if you're not ready to commit, if you think that if this does not work after 3 weeks, I'm going to quit, then you may not want to start. I'm not saying that that's a bad idea altogether, but it's okay not to start. Don't force yourself. So yeah, these are some of the reasons why you may not want to start. um, I'll go back to last, I guess, or yeah, second last pointer, which is why to start again, or why to get married. So bringing back the real life analogy of why to start and why to get married, because it will teach you to be flexible, right? And there's this two different aspects or two different terms how you will be flexible if you start and if you get married. So one is skills. So if you get married, you learn a lot of new skills. You learn how to handle your household. Jhadu pocha karoge, right? So same way, if you start up, you'll have to learn a lot of new skills that you may have never imagined. If you are an engineer, you would have never imagined that you would do a work that a CA would do, or a work that a product manager would do, or a work that, let's say, a chai wala would do. So, as an entrepreneur or as a founder, you'll have to be an all rounder, which is the best thing according to me. Also, no, second best thing. First best thing is failing. Second best thing is uh, that you'll have to be an all-rounder, which will teach you all the skills that you would have never imagined, and these skills will help you a lot going forward in your career. So one is skills. Second is, if you get married, you will know how to manage and work with a team. In terms of marriage, I when I say team, I mean not only your co-founder or your partner, but also the relatives of them, their parents or your babies. So that's a really nice skill to have for a startup, in terms of let's say you started up, let's take a practical example. You started up, and then there's your friend who chose a job. Now I have a whole new slide of job versus starting up, but because I have this example, let's take it. So there's person A who is taking up a job, there's person B who is doing a startup. A has a really nice cozy job in a good company. Person B has a startup that does not have a revenue, but has hired say 6 to 7 free interns, has two co-founders, and has one mentor or advisor. Now the founder, the person B, is going to have to work with all the stakeholders and make sure that everything is going in the correct direction. Let's say this happens for a year and this guy fails. Person A, same thing for a year, does not fail because he has a job. But now, who has more value in terms of better interpersonal skills? Person B, because he's managed a team of 7 people. Now, it would be easier for person B to get a better job than person A, who has worked alone for 1 year, while person B has had a team of a lot of people and knows how to manage stakeholders. So, how to manage and work with a team is not only going to help you within your startup, but also if you fail your startup, you'll have an edge compared to other people who do not have a lot of exposure. And the reason why I should not say always, it's case by case, but reason why my perspective is that you should start up and not do a job, because the learnings that you get while starting up will help you get even a better job than the person who's been doing that job. So yeah, that's my idea. Last thing, job versus starting up, I'm not sure if this was a part of the agenda, but I always get asked about this. So uh, yeah, so I have a few points. Again, you do not have to believe in what I say. Everyone should find answers for yourselves, because everyone has a perspective and it does not fit everyone else. So one thing I want to tell you before this is that if you have any stigma about jobs, that hey, taking a job is not a good idea, you get into the rat race, you become a corporate slave, is are stigmas that you should not believe in. If you think that you are, or you want to have a job and you would feel much better, you would have a better work life balance, you would um, I mean, you're just a job type person, it's a really good thing. There's nothing to worry about it. You should not think what others are doing. um, so remove any stigmas you have about jobs. Jobs are good. It's all about finding what's more important for you. So for job, you'd get a financial security, which means that you'll get whatever amount of money debited in your uh, um, account every month, which really feels good, right? I have had a job, and trust me, I feel really good on first of every month when I get money debited, in my account. um, and you would have the same feeling. It's a really good feeling. If you compare that to a startup, you will keep finding for money anywhere and everywhere, and you do not know how much money you would get. So that's risky. That's also adventurous. Second thing is stability. So you know that you are going to be in the job, um, unless and until you do something really bad, right? You do not, for jobs, and again, I'm not speaking to all companies, but for jobs, you do not have to keep doing extraordinary stuff to be in the job. You just have to be okay. If you are okay employee, you'll stay with the job, you'll stick with the job. Compared to that, if you go to a startup, or if you start a startup, you'll have to keep doing extraordinary stuff every now and then. And if you do not do that, you have no stability. You'll die next day, your startup will die next day. uh, the problem with this stability, the stability of a job, is that you would not know if you'd be able to exit anytime soon. So once you get a job, it's really hard to get out of the whole uh, comfort of a job. And it's not only, it's not a bad comfort, it's good comfort, because you have a family, you have other stuff to take care of, so it's really hard to be able to exit. So if you're sure that, hey, I'll do a job for 2 years and then do a startup, try that. The problem that I have with jobs, um, and yeah, this is an outright problem that I have, is that it has a very linear career growth. So uh, you start as an executive, and then you become a manager, and then you become, if you're talking about marketing, start an executive, become a lead, and then a manager, and then CMO, and then VP, and then whatnot, which is a very linear growth. And then it takes time depending on how good you do, and then how the hierarchy of the company looks like. While for startups, the growth is exponential, by which I do not mean that you start your startup, you call yourself a CEO, and then that's an exponential career growth. It's just, it's just you naming yourself something which does not make sense for people outside your startup. So it's not just naming or giving yourself a big title, but let's say if you start a company as a founder today, and next year you raise some money, and then you actually have a job of a CEO to do, and then you title yourself as a CEO, you become from nothing to a CEO in 1 year. So it's, again, it's not about putting a title, but it's about how fast you can grow. Not only you, but people around you will grow. Is what A better example would be, if you go and take a job at a very stable company. You start as, again, as I said, executive, lead, manager, VP, CMO, whatever. But at a startup, if you and a few of your friends are starting up, you are a marketing person. You do not have a title to start with, but once you raise money and once you want to hire other marketing people under you, you will start as a CMO. So yeah, exponential career growth, because startups grow really fast. Okay, I think that's it. Startup, you get to explore a lot with startups, but you need to understand if it's a good time for you to explore. Do you have liabilities? Do you have loans to pay? Do you have a family to take care of? If any of this is true, then job could be a good idea. Uh, Startup, you get to fail, but with high risk comes high reward. And as I said, exponential career growth. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. I kind of paced through the last slide because I wanted to take more time for the questions. Again, let's see how it looks like. I'll stop sharing my screen so that I can see myself. Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so
This
well, that was a great session. I guess you explained everything so well. So I guess we have some questions, especially that failure part. That it's a part of success. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
especially. So,
Thanks.
sir, we have some questions. So, for the convenience of the audience, I will read it out. So, we have the first question from Raju Yadav. He says, Sir, I'm facing a problem in getting idea. I get some idea, but when I start working on it, I found it's already exist. With a large market, high competition, and then used to give up, please suggest some ways to find idea.
Yeah. So see, I would not say that go find an idea. That's, again, that's not a bad way to do it, but that's not the best way to do it. So it's like going to Tinder, right? If you go and try to find a girlfriend, it may go a different way, right? So again, you could be a different person. I mean, Tinder or Hinge or Bumble, I don't know. So these are good ways to find girlfriends, but if it comes naturally, like if you're walking in a park and then you see a beautiful girl, and then it turns out that she goes to the same place that you are going to have food, and then you approach her, that's a more natural way to doing it compared to desperately going to find a girlfriend. Same way, if you go and try to find an idea, not may not be the best way to do it. But again, I have seen people have successful relations through Tinder. So depends, but not the best idea to go find it. Now, second, if you see that there's a lot of competition, and something like that exists, is going to happen anywhere. So if you have an idea, and then you go and find or Google about the concept of your idea, you'll definitely find someone. If you do not find a competitor, you need to be worried, because if no one is doing it, it's not a good idea. And you would never ever, I mean, very rarely you would have a very unique idea. But what happens is, you have an idea or you have a concept, you see other people doing it, then you go and read the reviews, or you go and meet their customers, or you understand the market better and see that what are the gaps that you can fill that the other competitors are not filling. So there will always, or most of the times, be competitors, but you'll have to find a way to, that you'll have to find ways to be unique or to be better than them. Not unique, I would say better than them. So do not worry about competition. Competition will be there, it should be there, but it's more about how you see yourself being better than them.
Okay, so I hope this answered your question. Next, we have there are basically two skills in business, technical and non technical, that includes communication skills and social health. Now, to build a startup or small business from scratch, where should I focus more? Should I completely engross myself in the technicality and gathering knowledge, or improving my soft skills?
Great question. His name is anonymous. I just
Anonymous.
never mind. So I would say, do what you are better at. So if you're a technical person, and lack of non-technical skills, only focus on technical stuff, but know a little bit about non-technical, just enough so that you can hire someone. Okay, so let's say you are good at programming but you do not know marketing. Start programming. uh, Also learn marketing so that you can do a little bit of marketing, just enough, so that either you can hire someone, either you can interview someone, or either you can get into the marketing ecosystem to know more marketers. Okay, so now the problem would be that, hey, I can know enough marketing to hire other marketers, but I do not have money to hire people. That is when you go and not hire people, but hire co founders or make co founders. So, if you're a technical person, you are the technical co founder who will go and become the CTO. If you are a marketer, you will become a marketing co founder and you will become the CMO. If you are more of an operational guy, or if you're looking for an operational guy and you are not good at operations, you will go look for someone who can be the operational co-founder, and then who will become the COO. So that's how things are. Focus on what you're good at. Learn a little bit of everything else, just enough so that you can find other people.
So shall we
We
take the
need
next one, sir? Shall we take the next one?
Yeah, yeah.
How to decide that your idea is good for your standing in the market and it is good to reproduce and already done ideas with an update?
I got the first part of it. I'm not sure if I understood the second part of it. Was that shamans? Okay, so how to decide that your idea is good for standing in the market? So you'll never ever be able to say that your idea is good. You will only be able to say that your prototype or your MVP is good, because ideas you cannot, I mean, you can, but it's not the best way to validate what you want to do, because ideas everyone has. But if you want to take one more step and build something around your idea, it does not need to be a fully working product, a fully fledged product. It could be what we call an MVP, minimal viable product. You build MVP, and then you go to your customers, you say that this is what I want to build, would you buy? They would say yes or no. If they say yes, ask how much. If they say $19 per month, you say that okay, I'm going to sell it in $29. You never agree to their price. You never want to go with the idea, but you want to take something with you to the market. When it's just an idea, you can approach people around you and then have them give honest feedback. So yeah.
And the next one is from Jay. What if we have surpassed the stage of ideation and made a basic prototype for our idea? What should be our next step?
Awesome. This is a great place to be in. So what Jay is saying that they already have a prototype, And what do they do next? So if you have a working prototype, you go to customers. Okay, you do not so a lot of people make this mistake is that, hey, we have a prototype, this is a good time to go to investors. No, investors do not, most of the times do not, like there are exceptions, but investors do not invest money in prototypes or MVPs. What they want to know is that, do you have any traction, what are your numbers? It could be users, it could be revenue, it could be how many people are interested in your product. So you want to take your product or take your prototype to 10-20 people, ask them that, hey, would you buy this? If they say yes, good. If they say no, you want to kind of understand that why no, what is it that we can do to make this better. And by prototype, I'm assuming, okay, it's a service based startup.
Yes, sir.
So what would be your prototype for a service based startup? What is exactly the prototype? I would not assume that service based would need a prototype. But so anyway, so if you have a prototype, you want to take this to your customers, understand that how do they feel about it. If they say this is good, then again, if they say this is good and you have a prototype, you do not only how much would they pay, you say that, hey, you say that you would pay $19. I am planning to price this at 29, but if you purchase now, I'll give you at $9. So this way they get a discount, one for for trusting you early on, and you get money so that you can build more features or build a better working product. So the best way to validate the product is to get some money from your customers. You have to build some trust because it's not easy to get money before you have a full-fledged product. So try to kind of sell it in a lower price. And once you have a working product, and say around I cannot give a number, but let's say around 100 to 1000, depending on how much they are paying. That's why I cannot give a number. If they're paying a lot, then 10 customers are good. If they're paying just $1, then you need 1000 or 2000 or 3000. So once you have that much traction, you go and approach investors.
Sir, he's also asking that should we register startup first?
Nah, don't worry. So I'm not sure how far ahead are you again, but if it's just a prototype, and if you're still validating your product and you haven't even earned your first dollar or first rupee, do not worry about all this operational stuff. It's okay to not register first. Um, just do a transaction on your personal bank account if it's first or second transaction. If it's not like a few crore rupees, that I'm sure are not. So if it's a small transaction, if it's your first second customer, you do not need to worry about getting registering your startup. Yeah.
Next one is from Saumil Gupta. Some very successful entrepreneurs suggest to keep working in the job until your business is stable enough to sustain your needs. What is your personal take
I
on this?
100% agree to this. And I would hate someone who says that I have a okay, that's a very strong statement. I would not hate you. But if someone says that I have a job, and uh, I want to start up, but I do not have enough time because I come back home at 6 p.m. and then I do not have the time to work on my startup. So, yeah, not a good mindset to have if you want to be an entrepreneur. If you have a job, then it's a really good idea to start, or to at least start working on your product before you quit your job. And there's a lot of reasons to this, but the best, not the reason, but the best uh, aspect of doing this is that, similarly to what I explained, that why you should start up in college, same thing. You are earning money, you have safety net. There's a high chance, there's 99% of chance that you will fail your startup. And then once you fail your startup, you'll have to go through this cycle again of finding a new job. But why not work on startup and validate it before you quit job, because you're earning money and then you're also able to work on your side project. So I do not see one reason why you should not keep your job. I mean, my weight is 100% on keeping your job, stretching your nights or any free time, weekends, Navratri, what have you, to build your product, earn enough money, or start earning enough money so that you can survive without your job, and only once you have enough money then you quit your job. Except your startup is growing really fast and you're sure that after 1 month you will start earning even more than your job, then quit early. But do not quit your job before you are sure.
So another one from again anonymous.
Hmm.
Which path will be more useful, a tried and tested industry or a completely new idea where you are the only one competing, and how you do you find a good idea? How to manage the studies and startup?
Okay, so these are two different questions. Why I'm not able to see this question? Oh, I see it now.
Uh,
I see it now. Okay, which path will be more useful? A tried and tested industry or a completely new idea where you are the only one competing? Again, as I said, it's really hard to find that one niche or one industry where no one else is competing, because there's millions of other people who would like to do the same thing, or want to be an entrepreneur, or finding ideas or solving problems or what have you. So it's really hard to find that place or that area of industry where you can be really innovative, or how you call it, a pioneer. So it's really hard to be a pioneer now, because a lot of smart people are there. I mean, you could be smarter than them. If you have found that place, then do it. But what I would say is, if you think that you are at the place where there's no competition, again, think twice. What is the reason why no one is there yet? Is it because that no one has found that place, or is it because everyone has been at that place and then failed and then come down? So yeah, it's for you to find out. But I would be preferring to be, or to do something, something that everyone has done, or a lot of other people has done, but I would do it better way, because that is a tried and tested industry for one. Second, I know who or what are these people to target, because if someone is already doing it, you know who the customers are, you know what the pricing should be, you know what are the value adds that you can do, you know what is it that these companies are not doing. You do not need to reinvent the whole wheel to be able to earn money, right? There's this quote, right? You Good artist what, and better artist steal or something. I don't know what exactly it is, but if artists do steal, you can steal, again, steal not in in an illegal way, but you can take inspiration of what's already working. Just be 1, 2, 3, 4 steps better than them, and then it just makes your path easier, instead of going into a very red ocean where you do not know what's going to happen.
next one is from Vishwas Verma. So, what are the series of challenges you had faced, and how did you overcome at the beginning of your startup journey?
बाप रे. Uh, Series of I faced everything. So if you talk about relations, I have had bad relations. You want to talk about bad grades and not doing assignments and then bunking classes to be able to go to pitching events. I have done all of this. I have also had people around me saying that I'm making a mistake. Um, uh, w- that is why I say that you need to have a hard skin. You need to have thick skin, because you are going to face a lot of this things. That does not mean that you get blinded by your startup and not hear to other people. But sometimes what happens is that you know what other people are going to say, but you are smarter than them and then you do not follow them. So you do not get blinded by your goal. You do have to listen to what they're saying, because if you are blinded, you may be making a mistake, and then people around you would be correct in guiding you in a different way. But do not but if you know that you are smarter, if you know that you are making the correct decision, if you know that they do not understand what you're trying to do, then do not listen to a lot of people. Go with your guts, go with your instincts. Fight your way through anything that comes, which a lot of things will. And again, challenges, I'm sure that my challenge would be same with yours: how to manage studies, how to manage relations, how to manage family, how to explain that I do not want to do a job. Yeah, this will be the challenge that you will face and that I've faced.
Next one is again from Shamansh. Is it better to work on an idea which is already in the market, and what should be the amount of improvement that you need to bring on the table to make the prototype work?
Yeah, good question. So again, is it better to work on an individual's market? Is not necessarily what I would say. But is it better to work in a market that already exists? Yes. Second thing, is it okay to work on an idea which exists? Yes. So if you have, let's say, like hundreds of Zoom, said there was Google Meets, but then Zoom came in. There was Zoom, Airmeet came in. What does well, again, I do not know the 100% of this industry, but because this is in front of us, what is the difference between Zoom and Airmeet? Zoom is basically a communication place where anyone can come and communicate. When while Airmeet thought that, hey, we want to make the communication but only for the niche of events, right? And because we want to go niche, we will make sure that we will have all the features that are needed to make an event successful. And you see how we are using Airmeet and not Zoom today. So if you see that something exists and you see a few ways, either you can make it more niche like Airmed did, either you can make it even better, either you use this product yourself and you see that you are facing a lot of problems that you can solve. So you find this smaller improvements, or you find a better niche for that product, or you find that you have a better team than the current team. You find anything that you can do better than the current one that is good enough for Zoom people to jump to Airmeet, then do it. The main idea, the main thing is hundreds of millions of people, hundreds of millions people are using Zoom, but Airmeet should do something that is good enough for people to jump from Zoom to Airmeet. So yeah, like I cannot say exactly what to do, but if you think that the migration of current customers of your competitors is easy and is making sense from all the features that you're providing, then do it.
Once again, anonymous. Uh, Wait a second. Okay, it was okay, sir. I'll ask a question from my
Yeah,
side, sir.
yeah,
Uh, in the starting days, it is so important to pick up an efficient team, and also to pick up again to have more founders or co-founders. Is it good? And also about some idea about founders agreement, sir.
yeah. Sorry, I did. So you're saying that how to pick a good team, is that the question?
Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, ऐसा ले सकते हैं कि वो should they be like co-founders or founders, or should we pick up a team like we are a boss, they are employees.
Yeah. Initially, if you are starting up and then you go and hire someone, and probably that would be someone from your class or someone who you know, and then you say that, hey, I am the CEO, you are the executive, and they will ask you, okay, I am okay being an executive. How much money are you paying me? And you're like, I do not have money to pay you. And they will ask you, okay, then why do I become an executive? If I want to work for free, I'll go to a better company and become an executive. Why do I become your assistant for nothing, right? So uh, uh, because the other person who would like to work with you is also taking a risk with you, right? They are giving you time. And if they're giving you time, that means they're losing their money. They could go to someone else and earn some amount. We don't know how much, but they could earn some amount. So they are taking risk with you. They are losing their money. They are wasting or investing their time in you. That is why they would not want to be just someone in the team. They would want to be they would want to have a position that entitles them and then that pays back them of the investment and the risk that they've taken. So that is why initially two or one two people who join your team would like to be uh, the co-founders. But that also depends. So if they are just good at marketing and they say that uh, um, I'll do marketing, you handle everything else, and I want to be a co-founder. maybe not a good idea. Co-founders are more of people who take the whole thing from ideation and do everything that it takes to take it to the next level. So if they are a marketing person and wants to join your team and says, I want to be a again, I'm not saying that marketing person cannot be a co-founder. Marketing person can be a co-founder, but the mentality, the mindset that they bring in could be should be that, hey, I'm a marketing person. I know that you don't know everything. You know I don't know everything, but we'll figure things out. Everything from ideation, I'll put the same efforts with you, and then we'll make this successful. Okay, good co-founder mindset. Now, so yeah, the idea is that because they are joining the team initially and are putting the same efforts as you are putting, it would make more sense to make them co-founder. But if they do not want to be a co-founder, if they do not bring the mindset of being a founder, then you can say then, hey, you are not going to be a co-founder, but you are not going to be just a team member. Once we reach a stage, you'll be the CMO, right? So that is how it would look like.
Sir, anonymous ka question. Sir, how to convey our parents for our startup idea?
Yeah, so you'll face this problem, right? That parents, for one, sometimes do not understand what startups are, what being an entrepreneur is. So I have failed at this a lot. I have not been able to convey this stuff myself. Until recently, and recently I mean last year, uh, I what I did was I wanted to start something that has to do something with e-learning or learning online, right? I basically wanted to teach marketing, or build a platform where people can go and learn marketing. So I had the same issue, as in not an issue, but I had the same hurdle, that how would I tell my dad that I want to start something, because I haven't had really good experiences with that. So what I thought was, he when he started his career, he was a teacher. So I started to connect dots, and I thought, why do not I put it in this way, instead of saying that I want to be an entrepreneur, or as an I want to start a new business. I'll put it in this way, that hey, I want to teach people something online. And because he's been a teacher, he actually connected with this idea. He was like, yeah, that's nothing better than being a teacher. Why don't you start it tomorrow? I was like, oh yeah. So the thing is, you talk to them in their language. You show the vision that you're trying to build. You do not say that, hey, I want to start up which is an AI enabled software that will do this blah blah. You say that I want to make people's life easier by helping them build something, or I want to make people's life easier by helping them, uh, um, let's say, uh, uh, diagnose fever at early stage, or diagnose fever through mobile or something, right? So you talk about the vision and why you are working for it, which is more higher level compared to what exactly you're working, which is not something that they understand. So that's one way. There will still be friction. If there is friction, you do this while you're doing a job, because they want you to do a job, so you follow what they want you to do. um, and then once you've built something, you take this product to them. You show them that, hey, this is the product I want to work for. I earned 3,000 rupees this month, and keep them looped in throughout the whole journey. You do not go to them after 2 years of starting the product. You keep them looped in. So you build the product, go to them, talk them about the product. They'll be okay. I don't care. You go to the job. You are okay. Next month you earn 1,000 rupees. You go tell them I earned 1,000 rupees to the startup. They'll be like, okay. As you show the progress, and they know that month by month you are growing 3,000 to 5,000 to 10,000, now 15 to 20. They would have this feeling that, yeah, I know that this is going somewhere, and they'll be happy for you to quit the job, instead of going out of nowhere saying that I earn 10,000. They do not know what struggle, what passion, what inputs you have given to earn 10,000. They would not be connected so much through your journey. So
Question,
wish
Vishwas. What are you working on now, and what are the upcoming few years plan of you?
Nice question. Thanks, Vishwas. So, what I'm working on now, as I said, I'm teaching a few marketing courses with a few famous universities, and an e-learning platform. So, I teach marketing to people. So I, as I said, I wanted to do this by my own, but it did not work out for a few reasons, which also includes uh, uh, and yeah, so I'm teaching with a few universities, which is, I guess, life led me to a better place. Instead of teaching by myself, I'm teaching through universities, and also helping startups raise funds is what I do. I consult startups, I help them understand that, hey, this is what you do, this is what you should do, this is how you raise funds, this is how much you should raise. And then I also, once they are at the place where they can raise or they should raise, I help them connect with investors and stuff. So that's what I'm doing. What are my upcoming few years plan? I never keep plans. I always like going with the flow. I do not have any I mean, I do have goals, but I do not have strict goals or strict path or career path that I should take, because I believe that what I have thought for myself is may not be better than what nature or what my luck has decided for me. So I better go with the flow and see where life wants to take me, instead of me telling my life that, hey, this is where I want to go. So I do not want to force myself or my life to go in a particular way, but I'll go where it takes me.
Sir, another question popped up, sir.
Nice.
Sir, also tell us how you got inspired to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I never got inspired. I never knew. So what happened is, I'm not sure how many of you have watched my Josh Talks video where I talked about this, but what happened was, it was not an intentional thing. It was very unintentional. I got a WhatsApp message from someone who wanted blood, who needed blood. I forwarded this WhatsApp message to other people, that, hey, someone from my connection needs blood. Before I hear back from this person, the person who needed blood was no more. So this was, I was like, hey, this is a very bad place to be in, and I'm a computer engineer, so why don't I do something, why don't I build something that can prevent this? So I built a mobile app which could prevent this whole situation, connecting people who need blood with people who can donate blood in like seconds. I built that. Achanak se I started getting into newspapers, and people started interviewing my team and me, and then someone told, hey, you are an entrepreneur, and then that was a very fancy word for me. That is when I came to know that I had a startup and I was an entrepreneur. I did not have any intention of being one. Hope that answers my question.
Yes, sir.
Nice questions, you guys, loved it.
Well, sir, it was really a cool and interactive session, sir. It was really superb having over you here, sir.
Thank you so much.
Your presentation skills are really interesting, sir. Really cool and
Thank you.
in a nice manner. Sir, do you want to say at last one thing to
The
all?
last one thing, I would say, do not listen to me, do not listen to anyone. If you think you want to do something, do it. There will be 100 other people like me who will come and talk to you and have a different perspective. I believe my perspective is good, so does 100 other people. So it's all about what you want to do. um, um, and that is why I say, that failing is good. For whatever reason you want to do something and you fail, that's good. So, do not listen to me, do not listen to anyone else. If you think that you do not care about anything and you want to do this thing, then do not put a lot of logic, and then go do it. Thanks, Yash. Yeah,
Sir, you made a really memorable evening to our ESL, sir.
thank you so much.
Sir, can you give task to our
Yeah.
participants?
So there's this task, you guys, you have to do, and let's do this thing. I was not told, or we have not discussed this earlier, but I would be happy to take a look once they submit the task and see who has done the best. So once they submit the task, feel free to, if you can, I'm not forcing you, but feel free to, email me all of the submissions, and then we can select who did the best. And then I'd be happy to do a free, I mean, of course, free, a 15-minute one-on-one call to discuss either their assignment, their task, or anything they want to discuss. So the task you guys have for this week is, you will have to find a company that has been in the past valued up to $100 million, which is a good feat to achieve, but then they failed. So this is what you want to do next week, and I'm all the best for that.
Sir,
Thanks,
we
Akshay.
must say that you really deserve all this success, sir. We are truly saying from our bottom of hearts that it was really a superb event, sir. Thank you, sir, once again, and
Thank you
for
so much for
sharing your
inviting me on
precious
it.
time with us, sir.
Of course, of course. Jay is asking for my email. So what I suggested is, once you submit these all tasks, or your task to your e-cell or whoever you've been submitting to, I'll ask them to submit to me. But if you would like to connect with me, I just posted my LinkedIn link. So feel free to connect me over there. Okay,
Once again,
cool.
thank you, sir,
Yeah,
for
nice
connecting with
connecting
us,
with
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Cool. Sure. I'll drop off. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, sir.